Hello. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have here Sprinkles, my amazing daughter, and today we're going to tell you the reasons why you do not want a leopard gecko as your very first pet. Now, disclaimer first of all, this is not true for everyone. Some people are completely capable of caring for a reptile and specifically a Okay, I don't think she's too happy. I'm gonna go put her away. Some of you are probably perfectly capable of keeping a reptile. However, a lot of beginners don't know certain things about leopard geckos. So I have 5 reasons why you do not want a leopard gecko as a beginning pet. Number 1. So the first reason is that they're not as hands-on as people would think. Many times with other pets such as hamsters or rats, people want to hold them, love them, and cuddle them and because they're so cute, and when we see cute things, we want to squeeze them really hard. But that's not the case for leopard geckos because I know they look chunky with their little tail, but they're quite fragile. This means that leopard geckos aren't exactly perfect for small children or anybody who does not have very good hand function, someone who can't hold on to a leopard gecko, because sometimes they do get a little bit squirmy and they might fall, and if they fall, that's not good. Leopard geckos are terrestrial, not arboreal, not semi-arboreal, so they're not designed to fall. Second reason why you may not want a leopard gecko as your first pet or reptile is because sometimes they can be really picky eaters. Now, we're not talking about ball python kind of picky, but they're not going to be like a hamster who just wants to eat food constantly all the time 24/7. I just described myself. I'm hungry right now. I'm gonna go get a snack. But when they're adults, they should eat around every 3 days. And so that means that you're not going to be feeding them too often, which is good because basically you are saving yourself time and they're relatively low maintenance because of that. However, it also means that, you're not going to get the everyday entertainment of being able to feed your pet. And it can be really exciting, especially if it is your only pet. Sometimes it can be a little bit awkward in between feeding days because you're not getting that exciting interaction, if you will call it that. But overall, I still find them very exciting. I mean, she's having an adventure out there. And so yeah, leopard geckos also go through something called brumation, which is essentially the reptile equivalent of hibernation, but it's not exactly the same as hibernation, and I can do a video on this in the future, but briefly explaining, it's basically when their bodies slow down for the winter. And so Sprinkles here has actually gone 2 months without eating when she is brumating, and it can be really scary for a first-time pet owner, seeing your animal reject food and not being able to do anything about it. Female leopard geckos also will ovulate, and sometimes they will also refuse food.
Guess who's currently ovulating?
So sorry, no feeding clips in this video. The third reason why you may not want a leopard gecko is that they can be kind of hard to do research on. So as we all know, there's a lot of misinformation that goes around on the internet. Haha, just like this video. You've been fooled. No, this video is okay. You can trust me to some degree. So essentially, when you're doing research about leopard geckos, you will get a lot of articles, sometimes written by pet stores, that you do not want to follow. There's a lot of misinformation out there, such as different types of substrates. People think that leopard geckos should live on sand. That is an automatic no, just no matter what, do not give your leopard gecko sand. And there will be people out there saying, oh, I've kept my leopard gecko for 10 years on sand. That's like saying I starved my dog for 12 days and it didn't die yet, so I guess it's okay. It's just not okay, and it's not worth the risk of impaction. And there are many misconceptions that come with their heating and also their lighting. I will insert the facts here right now to tell you what their temperature range is. Okay, another thing, the most controversial thing about leopard geckos is UVB. UVB is essentially what helps your body produce vitamin D3 that helps them absorb and process calcium. And calcium is the fundamental building block of their bones, of their structure. Reptiles need calcium more than anything almost. And so essentially without proper UVB/D3 supplementation, your leopard gecko can develop metabolic bone disease, which is really tragic, and I will do a video on that in the future. But here's the problem. A lot of people say leopard geckos need UVB, yet others said no, they just need supplements. Which one do you follow? Well, me personally, I do a combination of both. So I have a low output UVB that I turn on for about 4 hours a day. And I also have a vitamin D3 supplements that I will give 2 to 3 times a month. And so as a combination, that's my personal choice. But as you can tell, that's really difficult because when you're online for finding other information, you're gonna get so many mixed responses. So if it's your first time doing deep research on a pet, a leopard gecko might take you a little longer than, say, another reptile. I feel like I'm being so negative here, just saying, hey, you don't want this pet, you don't want this pet. Listen, I love Sprinkles so much. She is my baby, and I love her with all my heart. Yeah, just saying. Cool. And so we move on to the fourth reason why leopard geckos are not always recommended. And that is because not only do you have to care for your darling, precious little baby gecko, but you also have to care for their food. So these are 2 examples of foods that you can feed your leopard gecko. First off, we have crickets. Chirp, chirp, motherfucker. Actually, crickets are nice because they're really cheap and you can get them pretty much in any pet store that sells reptiles. But they die quickly, they smell, they chirp, and they escape, and you will find them in your walls. So yes, this is an example of what you have to do. And it's a very simple setup I have here. I only have about maybe less than 20 crickets in here because all of my reptiles are currently brumating / not eating. And it's of normal causes. They're not dying. But yeah, that's the situation for me. But typically when all my reptiles are alive and active, I have to get crickets maybe once or twice a week. And the money adds up, but there are other alternatives. Another thing I feed my leopard gecko is super worms. And so basically what these look like, they are adorable and they look like this. They usually do get a lot bigger, and yeah, so these are generally recommended for larger leopard geckos because younger ones may not have as ease digesting them. But those are 2 examples. I do have to care for feeder insects, which basically can add more time and money. And that's the 2 things that millennials don't have. Ha! Many other animals besides reptiles and amphibians do not require live food. And no, you cannot feed your leopard geckos dead food. And I will make a video about leopard gecko nutrition in the future. Just know for now that feeding your leopard gecko dead crickets and dead mealworms and dead superworms or dead anything is basically feeding them potato chips. It has no nutritional value, and it's basically as if you just ate hay for the rest of your life. Oh wait. Okay, I take that back. And so the 5th reason why leopard geckos are long-term commitments. And this can actually be a really good pull factor or a really bad factor, depending on the person you are. If you're someone who's incredibly indecisive, you might not want a leopard gecko because they have really long lifespans. Generally anywhere around 10 to 15 to even 20 years is possible. And so basically getting a leopard gecko is kind of like a marriage. Hopefully your marriage lasts longer than like 15 years, but you get my point. It is a long-term commitment that you can't just give up on. It's the same thing as getting a cat or a dog. Leopard geckos are just absolutely amazing pets, but you have to be able to have the time and the energy and the money to take care of them for their entire life. Sprinkles isn't even like 6 years old, and I plan to have her be my best man at my wedding. Yes, I love you so much. You're the best little girl. I love you so much. So essentially, if you're not ready for this, if you're not ready for your own little lizard kid, then you might want to reconsider before you go out and adopt one. And so these are the main reasons why I say you shouldn't get a leopard gecko unless you can handle all 5 of these factors. But if you do decide to get a leopard gecko, holy crap, they are absolutely amazing. I don't understand why people say leopard geckos are boring. You're stupid. They're not boring. They're so epic to look at and they're so cute. So thank you for watching this part of the video. I will include a bunch of clips on what my leopard gecko setup currently looks like, and I can do more detailed videos in the future. But this is just a good little intro to note if you want to have a leopard gecko in the future. Okay everyone, thank you for watching. Please make sure to like the video and also comment down below if you have a leopard gecko or not, and also tell me their name because Sprinkles wants internet friends. Yeah, please make sure to subscribe. I have wonderful content coming up, and also tell your friends about this channel because I know I'm really small right now, but I have big dreams, right Sprinkles? Okay. Okay, maybe you don't have dreams, but it's okay. She probably just wants to go back to bed. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye!